Hello, everyone. I'm Atom,
And I'm Anatarius.
and we will be your casters for this first team Overwatch Imperial versus UCL showdown.
Yes, this match in particular is very important because currently the Varsity score is 9-7, with UCL being in the lead. So if Imperial can win this match, then the Valorant game tomorrow will be the decider.
Don't forget to show up for that. It's bound to be an interesting game. But for now, Overwatch. So,
Yep.
what are we looking at here, Anatarius? What are the teams like?
Um, the teams currently, I would say, well, let's start with the peak achievements of each team. Starting with Imperial Team 1, this team has achieved third place last season in Newell.
Very
But
impressive.
there is a bit of a caveat here. If I remember correctly, the off tank that led them to this third place finish last season is currently missing. So
Oh,
there will be a significant there's a significant downgrade
and I
as
can
far as
see
I
here
know.
that they have replaced the off-tank position with a Silver Phoenix, who is apparently a gold off-tank, but Lude swears by him. So we'll get to watch him pop off in this game, I'm sure.
Yes, I have this gold off tank has very very large shoes to fill,
Mm. And I have
and
every confidence that he will.
mhm. Well, I'm not sure if I'm as confident as you are, but
I can't help but vote for the underdog. It's intrinsic. You need to.
indeed, indeed. But moving on to the UCL Team One, just this season in Newell, UCL Team One has reached top 15 in the prize playoffs. So this team has shown that they can stand up against the best of UK University Overwatch.
Yes, looking to be a very tense match. I wonder what map we'll be starting on. Do you any guesses?
Um,
Whose choice will it be? And do you think that will be
I
affected?
suppose it would probably be a coin flip, just like the previous Overwatch game. And currently, the lobby is selected on Busan, but I am not sure if that is the final pick here.
It'll be interesting to see in this game because we have a very stacked DPS lineup on both sides. Imperial have maybe Westgrew? I can't see him in the lobby right now. He's spectating.
He is currently spectating.
Well, Imperial
Yeah.
have Westgrew, who is a top 500 flex DPS, while UCL are looking at Eugene, also a top 500 DPS, but bronze in everything else, intentionally, I think.
Yeah, most likely.
And we'll be
And
looking to see some
yes,
big May plays out of Eugene.
yes, indeed, I would be expecting a lot of very good May gameplay, especially since Eugene has peaked top 3 in EU.
Wow.
But I'm since but according to Eugene, the rest of his team not really that good, as he says he is always stuck with trash teammates.
I'm sure he's not talking about UCL. I'm sure that's not the case.
Well, yes, that is true. But we can also see from just this sentence alone, we can see that he might opt for some more individualistic plays sometimes.
Should be interesting.
Indeed. And the DPS partner alongside Eugene would be Ibby, who is a Masters Flex DPS, who plays a very wide range of heroes, including Zarya, though I don't think he will be the one playing the off tank here.
She's basically a DPS player, right?
Yes, I
Chonky
suppose.
DPS.
So you are the Zarya player, so I
I
suppose
am, yes.
you know much more than I do.
What a well-designed character. All round, brilliant design.
Yes. Looking back over on Imperial's team, alongside Wesker, who may not be playing first, but the mainstay DPS that I would expect is Rich Hardry, a Masters hit scan DPS.
Mm.
And I have seen him play. and he is
Yeah.
incredibly good mechanically on a wide range of hit scan heroes, including Tracer, Widow, and McCree.
Famous for winning a 5v6 in Newell on the Imperial second team.
Well, I would not attribute that to him being good than the other team being, well,
Being
putting
poor.
up less than desirable performances.
Okay, alright. Well, still, big things from the DPS on both teams to be expected.
Yes. And another big thing that I would be expecting is the main tank on Imperial, Criterion. He is also a top 500 main tank. And I personally look up to him a lot, and I have learned a lot from him on how to play heroes like Ball and Winston.
That's cute.
Yes. However,
Yeah.
he quit the game a few months ago because his computer broke.
Oh,
But he got it
dear.
fixed just to play Varsity.
You think
And
he
he is.
broke it in an Overwatch-related rage?
I don't think so. But he is very confident that even after a 4-month break, he can run circles around UCL. So I have very high expectations.
Big words, big words.
Yes. Big words to be matched by big performances.
We can only hope.
Yes. And on the other side, the UCL off tank is Roman Sparta, mashing two different ancient European cultures together. He is a
Hmm.
Grandmasters off tank player, and he plays all of the off tank heroes proficiently, and apparently he can also play flex support quite well.
And he in turn is famous for stating that he is the best diva in all of Newell, since all the other divas are garbage.
Well,
I'm
let's see.
quoting him there. Do not
Yes, that is
mistake his hubris for my own.
yes, that is a direct quote from him. And let's see if his performance on Diva would match this very big claim if he is playing Diva in this match at all.
We should be coming up on map choice now. It will be UCL picking the first map.
Yes, the first map would be a control map, as most Overwatch series start with since Season 1. So what do you think would be the map choice here?
Oh. Well, you can never go wrong with a bit of Li Jiang. But having said that, it's the second most commonly picked map for control, Ilios, that we'll be seeing for this first round.
Ilios. I would be expecting some perhaps Wrecking Ball on some of the maps, especially Well.
A lot of boot potential on this map, yeah.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of boops, let's see if the Imperial main support Lude would be delivering those boops.
Interesting. I've never seen Lude on Lucio before. I know that he
Have you?
refuses to play Brig, and that Han will be covering that. Hanwals will be covering that position if it's required. But I'm looking forward to maybe seeing a bit of Lude Lucio. Oh, that sounds wrong. Okay.
Well, Lude playing Lucio is something that we would look forward to. And since this is not a Newell match, he would probably not be falling off the map. Since
Let's
he
hope
has a
so.
tendency to fall off the map very often in Newell appearances. And we are entering the map. Let's see here. What do you expect them to roll out on?
Well, looking at the health bars and trying to figure out what's what.
I can see that Eugene has probably selected the Torb, the only DPS with armor.
The only DPS with armor. We can hope. We can only hope. Rich with a very slim health bar there, looking like he might be playing Tracer.
Yes, Rich, known for his Tracer, in fact. And indeed, he will be playing that Tracer.
Imperial will be running a Ball Diva dive comp with a bit of Pharah mixed in, and it's almost a mirror match where ICL have chosen to bubble the ball on entry with a Zarya and have chosen the extra survivability that comes from Batiste's Immortality Field.
And we can see that on UCL's side, Roman Sparta is not playing his proclaimed best diva in all of Newell. And this match shall open up with a bit of a Pharah 1v1, perhaps?
Obviously, duking it out in the sky.
Yes, I'm particularly a big fan.
Ibby's going to be looking to match Rich Hardy's Tracer, but Han has gone down. A bad start for Imperial.
Yes, and Genius going for the slam here. Hanwolf gets res, but Rich has been taken down.
Eloquent just waiting in cover, waiting for his opportunity.
And we can see that UCL has pressured the point, and they are about to have capped it, as Hanwolf dies again to Eugene
The
Farah.
second time to Eugene Farah. Not a good look.
Indeed. And in response to that, Hanwolf switches to the Batiste, which would...
Not a bad idea. It provides a little more damage output onto the pharmacy, as well as being a bit more survivable.
Yes, Batiste, a support hero famous for doing more damage than Soldier 76. And we'll see how good Hanwolf can use this.
UCL still in control of the point, just ticking up that percentage.
Ooh, very nice shot from Eloquent onto Ibby. A damage boosted direct hit. A very eloquent shot. However, that doesn't seem to matter. Just as I say that, Imperial coming with a few more picks.
Roman Sparta going down is a big deal. That's a lot of charge that he's lost right there.
Yes. Ibby investing the pulse bomb doesn't quite kill Criterion. And
Mine's all over point.
Taking control.
Mine's all over point does manage to swap the point.
Let's look at the ults here. Imperial only has a pulse bomb with a barrage coming out probably quite soon, as well as the self-destruct and the window. However,
ICL are running a lot of ults here. Imperial are going to have to be very
5 online.
The grab barrage can be a deadly combo, if I'm correct.
Indeed. And the mines.
Phoenix to stop some of this.
Yeah. You can see that Eugene taking a few shots. Looking for that direct hit in the air. He lands one. As Akarin from UCL uses the Valkyrie as that expires. And Genius has used the mines on point, and he has also booped Hanwolf off.
And the point flips once again. We're roughly even on cap here, but Imperial coming up on a lot of ultimates right now.
Yes, now it's their turn to use this ult advantage. But
ICL did a really good job of not using too many ults, not committing too much, because they've still got a wealth of potential combinations going into this next fight here.
Yes, especially the grab barrage combo that can deliver a lot of damage, as well as a pulse bomb
in the back. Out comes the pulse.
Rich Chargery trades his life for it, but the opposing Tracer also goes down, and the Rich gets resurrected.
Gold off tank doing a great job.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, Eloquent with a very, very nice double tap on the enemy Vara, as well as the follow-up barrage cleaning up the point.
Doesn't need it. Not when you're that good.
Yes.
And the point flips again. But UCL did manage to take the point all the way to 99% capture progress, so they're just looking for one more fight win here to seal the deal.
And Roman Sparta, as we can see, he's gone onto the Diva to possibly pressure out Eloquent, who is being an absolute menace so far.
Rick going in for the big slam.
And we can see, once again, Eloquent looking for a few shots. But Han has gone down again. He does get resurrected.
Both Farahs reigning pretty uncontested in the sky, duking it out with each other every so often, but...
And here comes the barrage from Eugene, taking up 3.
Barrage
taking up 4, in fact, including himself. And that would seal the deal for UCL as they take Lighthouse on Ilios.
Close fight, but what do you think won that first round for UCL there?
I would say that UCL has done quite a good job pressuring the support line. of Imperial, especially as we can see that Han has died many times to the opposing
he
Falcon.
is a priority target.
Of course, and since he is a priority target, the fact that he is dying more often means that UCL has the target priority straight.
This is interesting. We're seeing double bubble come out from Imperial while UCL are running the Bull Winston with Eugene on Widow. This is a very strong point for Widow. There's a lot of open sight lines that Widow just reigns supreme on.
Indeed. And since Rich has to be playing the Tracer, Eloquent has opted for the Hanzo as a sniper presence on the map. Ooh, first headshot from Eugene. Doesn't kill anyone yet. As Imperial dive in, but Eugene has found Eloquent. Yeah,
Rich dangerously low. Just tickled down by the Winston.
They trade the Tracers.
And here's that Lewd Lucio that I was hoping for. He's already got one environmental kill.
Yes, and we can see that he is healing for the backline, but it's not able to save Hardwood from the dive.
And a famously vulnerable dive target. She has got that sleep and that nade, but still, it's not a lot to protect yourself from an incoming Winston, Ball, and Tracer.
Indeed, yes. You can only do so much with a few cooldowns. Ibby uses his pulse bomb to not a lot of effect, as Roman Sparta uses the Primal Rage and feeds a 1000 ult charge away.
Very quickly as well, I might add. Rich maybe looking for a pulse here on the Ana, vulnerable.
He uses the pulse bomb, just misses.
But advantage is definitely in Imperial's favor for now. Outcome mines from Genius. Maybe this is enough to... And the beat from Lewd. Really trading on Lewd. Yeah.
The beat from Lewd really saving the team here, I believe. Saving them from a potential pick in the middle of the fight. And, but Eugene
here
finds
comes in the Widow. Just so much range, so many sight lines covered.
Oh, but Silver Phoenix, the gold off tank, gets killed with the nano boost.
What did I say? Look at this man go! Putting in the work, putting in the effort, putting in the damage, and he's got a grab. This grab, looking for a grab dragon combo here.
Indeed.
Perhaps the most famous ultimate combo in the history of Overwatch?
I wouldn't say it's the most famous, but it's definitely one of the more prominent ones recently, at least, and even in our matches. Roman Sparta getting outplayed by Lewd a bit. Here comes the
grab. A worthy target.
Yes.
And Imperial are able to follow up on that, taking out both the Tracer and Mercy.
Yes, the Grab Dragon did not seem to find too much, but the follow-up picks are very good.
A lot of resources away from UCL to try and keep Genius alive in there.
Roman Sparta possibly looking for a dive here, as he receives the nano boost and they go in. Ibby has found the pulse bomb kill onto Silver Phoenix, and Roman Sparta has found Han Wolves, and now Eloquent has also gone down.
Crit doing his best to protect the point with mines, but it's just not quite enough to defend from the overwhelming pressure coming in from UCL.
Yes, and this fight looks like it is won by UCL.
Oh,
the Criterion is still on the point.
Desperately trying to get some more percentage on there, but ends up falling like the rest of his team.
Yes, Imperial currently standing at 69%.
Well, hey, both teams were there for a second. What a momentous moment.
Yes. So you can see that
Just missing his roll out there. We'll move away from that.
Yeah. Ooh, a very nice sleep to Criterion as he gets blown up. And the beat from Lewd, unable to save him.
So much damage. It might have even been blocked by that bubble. I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah, that was probably it. But Lewd,
here come the environmentals.
Yes. Another environmental kill as Rich finishes off Roman Sparta.
Lewd doing the funny as the rest of Imperial comes in to clean up.
And now Hardwell's nanoing the off tank again.
Oh, you've seen that he's capable.
Yes. Rich has found the Mercy.
Asserting Ana superiority just before falling to this Widow.
And this seems to be the last fight that will be won by UCL.
Really impressive there from UCL to come in and hold it just before it swaps again.
Yes, and now Criterion might be looking back to get back to
Desperately
the point.
stalling, trying to survive as long as he possibly can. Keep this overtime ticking, but there's just too much on point. Rich doing his bit now. Not sure whether... And there we go. The first map will go to UCL in a decisive, if close, victory.
Yes, I believe a lot of the difference, in fact, is perhaps made from Eugene's Widowmaker, I would say. As we can see that in this play of the game alone, although Silver Phoenix is delivering the big plays, we can see that Eugene has found the Tracer, as he had also found a lot of other key targets in very crucial moments of the fights.
I see. Just going to spend half a second checking which map we will move to next.
And after the first map, we can see that Imperial has made a few substitutions. In fact, Criterion is subbing out for Relics, who is the other main tank player on the team. And Eloquent is subbing out for Wesker.
Taking a short break here as Akarin bows to the calls of nature. And it's...
And it appears the second map would be King's Row.
One can only hope. The greatest map on all of Overwatch.
Indeed, perhaps the most iconic map, and the map that is loved by the most.
Ownership of the lobby, swapping back and forth. No one wants to have this kind of power.
Yes, indeed. The owner of the lobby is a very, very hefty responsibility. You have to do very, very momentous things, such as pausing the game.
It's made an entire loop all the way back around to Lude.
As it should be.
So, what did you think of that match, Anatarius? What worked well for the teams? What didn't? What will we be looking to change up?
I believe that Imperial could be looking to exert more pressure on the UCL backline, who are getting a lot of value. So perhaps they would want to look for more decisive dives deeper into the backline.
On suffering from a lot of focus fire, while the UCL backline not suffering as much, shall we say?
Yes, that is very true. So I believe Imperial should try to exert that same amount of pressure on the dive, although I'm not sure if dive will be the composition played on a map like King's Row. So what do you think about this map? What comps do you think will be played here?
I'm hoping for a bit of the Rhine Zarya, but we might be looking at Double Bubble instead. Both viable, Rhine Zarya famous for its success on King's Row, but Double Bubble a new contender to the mix.
Yes, Double Bubble or Monkey Zarya as a composition, if anyone doesn't know what Double Bubble means. It is switching out the Reinhardt and opting for the Winston in order to dive the backline. However, since Relics is in instead of Criterion, I am expecting Rhine Zarya from Imperial, as Relics is more of a Reinhardt player than Criterion, which is probably one of the reasons why they decided to make the swap.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Roman Sparse, maybe not. Imperial running a standard Rhine Zarya, McCree, A lot of healing coming out from the BAP Ana combination. On the other hand, UCL will be running a Echo, and likely pocketed by the Mercy. That's a very deadly combination, and it will be on Rich and Wesker to put them down.
Yes. And playing Echo into double hit scan is not the most easiest of tasks. So let's see how Eugene manages with his top 500 proficiency as Relics dominates the enemy Reinhardt.
MTD asserted.
Very true. And
so, nice high charge. Going to be looking to hold on to this for as long as possible.
ooh,
If he gets a parting pick though, that could be big. That's a long way back for Wesker to walk.
yes, and
Imperial now down a man. Spawn advantage favouring UCL for this first point.
yes, and Roman Sparta very far behind Silver Phoenix on the ult charge, as Ibby is close to the dragon.
God, that is a notable difference there.
And Silver Phoenix looking for the early grab.
Perhaps a little bit over aggressive there from Silver Phoenix, even though it was a very nice grab.
And that is a 3-man shatter from Relics. Doesn't clean up anyone though.
Well, no, a lot of the pressure's gone. That high charge Zarya falls in the middle of grab, and Wesker may not have even been back yet, although I hope that he would have done. But that's it was a bold attempt from Relics to pull that back. Looking like Imperial are looking to contest this point again, stop that full cap.
Yes, they will probably be. And that early pick from Wesker. Oh, but they do not get onto the point.
Nobody touches the point. The age-old C9. How disappointing. It's good to see at least one of them in every tournament.
That was looking like a very good potential retake there, so it's a shame.
Very winnable.
Just had to go ahead with it. And now Wesker moving on to the Genji. That is a very interesting pick. And by interesting, we will of course mean questionable.
Soft throw, but we'll never know. If anyone can make it work, it's Wesker.
Yeah.
UCL looking for their Grav Dragon combo here.
And there is the grab, and there is the dragon. But
a lot of
Relics
picks coming in from Imperial.
Relics still alive. And
But they somehow come out on top of this.
yeah, Rich finding 2 headshots in the middle of that.
Very impressive. Maybe he's still caught in the backlines. And he shot the deflecting orange man. That's an interesting choice. Well, he had to get out of there quickly, so. But the res does come through. UCL in full strength coming into this fight.
And yes. Oh, very nice block coming out from Relics. So Genius gets no value from that.
Second grab of the game. Really just showing up Roman Sparta here.
Yeah.
Desperately trying to make his way out.
Wesker almost makes it out, but the rest of the team along with him has fallen. And I don't expect a contest here on second, so the defense will continue on third.
But third point of King's Row is very easily defendable, so if there's anywhere that Imperial can hold it, it's here. Seeing teams lose entire minutes on this point.
Yes. And we can see that Imperial has the Grav Blade combo. But Lude opts for the window first, and
no need for any nano here, Wesker. Showing everyone how the Genji is played. A lovely cleanup from Imperial there. Perhaps even winning the fight a little too far.
Yes, I would say that was quite an expensive fight to win, using 3 ultimates. And now, on the side of UCL, however, Eugene has swapped onto the McCree. So the ult charge is reset there as well.
Wesker's going to have to be very careful. That's a lot of stopping power from that McCree with that flashbang.
Genius looking for a shatter, as Yanni uses the window.
Nano comes out from Han, onto Ryan. Nice block there from Relics.
Yes, but Ibby has found Lude with an arrow through the window.
I thought Relics was going for a flash there, but he just gets burned down by the fan.
And Eugene invests the high noon on the cleanup.
UCL are still holding on to that Grav Dragon combo though, so powerful. Should be able to stop any recontest here.
Yes.
Wesker trying his best but gets taken down by Ibby.
And there it is.
Grav Dragon into spawn.
That has found a lot of value. And it's only Relics on the point, and Hanwoo's healing him.
Han doing his little
As Hanwoo goes down very
those
quickly.
arrows. Relics desperately hiding on point, spinning around. This is a game of how long can Imperial hold on here. I don't think a regroup is possible, but they can try and drain as much time off the clock as they can. And there we go. A decently quick cap for UCL there, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Imperial are going to be hard pressed to match that.
Yes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on King's Row is quite a significant time bank, as we can often see teams not even completing the map in the first place. I believe that if Imperial wants to win this map, they would have to, well, let's say they would have to turn up the tempo and perhaps opt for some more meta picks.
What would you hope to see from Imperial?
I would say possibly not a Genji.
Well, Wesker doesn't care what you think, and he's gonna do it again.
Wesker don't care.
Lude being forced onto the brink for even half a second. No, he's off again. Oh, he doesn't want to do this. You could see his reluctance.
I really don't
Surely
think that
not.
Surely Lude is not playing the brig here. I don't think the brig would be good against the long-range DPS that
I agree, yeah.
UCL is running.
No dive to counter, there's not a lot of... I'd like to see maybe a bit more brawl from Imperial, lest they lose the front line. They've been doing a good job, the tanks from Imperial, to hold on. But,
And as expected, Lude goes off the brig
there we
onto
go.
the Batiste.
On instantly down to Eugene's Ash. He's got close respawns, but that's not what we want to see at the start of the round. This Zen should be outputting a lot of damage for Imperial.
Yes. And Rich on the Widow has a lot of long-range pick potential, but Wesker on the Genji, he can go on the flank, but it is not a lot of frontline pressure compared to the Ash Hanzo from UCL, which has both frontline pressure and pick potential.
But UCL no longer running that McCree, so it's giving a bit more space to Wesker's Genji. Go in with less fear of being flashed. Windows on both sides come out. There's a lot of amplified damage. Han goes down to a quick boosted headshot, but Wesker's in the backline cleaning up.
He dashes in, dashes out, and finds a lot of kills. And as the window exchange, Imperial comes up on top.
Cheeky spray from Wesker there. He knows that he did well.
And we can see that Imperial has the tank ult advantage, as Silver Phoenix once again has the early grab.
Really impressive from this from Silver Phoenix, the off tank here. He's shone on Ilios and he's shining on King's Row as well.
Yes, although I do believe that the backline from Imperial is pocketing him quite hard, which is, I suppose, a good thing to do with this high damage character. Relic finds 2 with a shatter, but unable to follow up on that.
Too much pressure from that Bob, just staving off the rest of Imperial. But down goes Silver Phoenix, likely the rest of Imperial as well.
Yes, that was a very big shatter from Genius. Alongside the...
not finding those opening picks. But that was 2 ults out from UCL at the cost of 1 from Imperial. So arguably a decent trade. But this archway is a tough nut to break. UCL will be looking to hold this at all costs.
You know what is also very tough to break? The Grav Dragon combo, which UCL has right now.
Yeah.
However, Han does have the Transcendence to counter it. And they don't even... UCL does not use this as
almost
an early pick.
Down. Rich Hardy doing his best to clean up. Han showing off some of that big Zen damage. And that looks like a nice, clean fight from Imperial. UCL
Yeah.
holding on to that Grav Dragon. Great discipline there to not throw those away in the midst of a lost fight.
And we can see that looking at both sides. Both sides have the window and grab. And here comes the Grav Dragon combo from
Han is trying to keep everyone up. But what happened there?
Ooh. Did Genius block the Transcendence healing with his shield?
One can only assume that is in fact Genius if he did so.
Yes, indeed. A genius play.
I think that must be what happened, because those men fell to that dragon, despite Han's best attempts to keep them up.
And Wesker dying a bit late, as he has gone to the Hanzo, which I believe is a much better place compared to the Genji.
A lot more frontline pressure, a lot more consistent damage.
Yes, and both teams have the shatter here, but Eugene is nearing another bob. Ooh, Eugene opting for the 1v1.
Eugene in the back line, dueling Wesker, almost gets him.
And that is 4-man shatter from Relics.
That's what we like to see. That GM tank really showing.
Well, he might as well be GM, even though he is only Mastered. He's really showing. Yes, indeed, he is only Mastered. But he is really showing up this game. Now, Genius has a shatter, and Eugene has another bob. As Akarin has a transcendence, but Hanwoo's is nearing his as well. Wesker gets picked early, so this might looking to be an early reset for Imperial.
We're not building Dragon at the rate that Imperial needs to combo it with Sylvan's grab.
Ooh, the grab comes in from Silver Phoenix, but the
That's
shatter
a lot
from
of ult
Genius.
committed right there.
Shatter from Genius denied the follow-up, as Rich invests the pulse bomb only to find the lamp. And
Napkin takes down Relics.
with
Losing
the
that
help of
main
the
tank in
window,
this sort of situation is renders the fight non-winnable, really. Really nice pick.
especially facing the amount of frontline spam.
That's big from Roman Sparta. Silver Phoenix losing a lot of charge there. That's a lot of damage gone from the field.
And now UCL looking at another Graph Dragon combo, as Imperial has no ults and no Hanzo as well.
Seems to be a trend.
Yes, Wesker has gotten picked.
Roman Sparta
early.
looking for that cheeky flank grab. Only catches the Zarya, but Ryan backs up into it.
Graph Dragon doesn't find anything with a loose
Able to
lamp.
take out the bat. That's a very big pick.
And
Relic.
that's 2k Fire Strike from Relic.
Wiping to the fire strike. Rich running low. Han out sniping the snipers. Getting his revenge for that Ilios map.
You can say that Han was doing a lot of long-range damage as opposed to his McCree gameplay.
An expert of the flash fan the hammer.
Wesker uses Dragon on the right spawn, pressuring out Eugene.
The window's out, covering point. Ibby looking to match Rich Hardy's Tracer. A tall order, but he's doing well.
And
So
hit
looking
with
to
the
grab
grab.
him back. Catches out the BAP again. That huge damage from the Zen just coming in to clean up the front line.
And this does look like clean-up territory for Imperial, as they are looking to complete this map with about 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining.
Very impressive from Imperial. Not quite the same speed, but not lost by a long shot.
Absolutely. And since they have completed with over 1 minute with time, this is very winnable for both teams, although UCL with a significant time bank advantage.
Yeah, a whole minute and 20 seconds here. And that can be so important. That's enough time for some big ults to come online. UCL can afford to play a little bit slower, a little bit more cautious. Whereas Imperial are going to have to put it all on the line.
Ready for battle.
Yes. And although Imperial only has 1 minute and 10 and 11 seconds in the time bank, since King's Row is is a hybrid map. After you capture first point, there is a very good chance to snowball all the way to the end, since it is the escort portion of the map. And we have seen from earlier today how
Our
much you can
sponsor
do.
here, Spenny More. Don't know what they sell, but camera's spending a lot of time on that, so I can only assume we're sponsored.
Well, let's hope that we are sponsored. Weskaru playing the Pharah here, and without the Mercy Pocket as well.
Now's the
A
time
very
to do
large
it.
amount
Genius
of long range
swapped
damage.
off the Ash. There's not a lot to counter Weskaru here. It's going to be pounding damage into that front line. But Relics does fall. Silver Phoenix desperately trying to escape with his life and his charge. Body block for me, he says to the Widow.
And Silver
And he
Phoenix
gets
does
out.
Silver Phoenix gets out with the charge as Rich goes onto the Tracer now, matching Eugene.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
Silver-
already got Window. That's very early. Imperial might not be expecting that.
Well, let's hope that they are. Well, it doesn't seem to matter now since Silver Phoenix has gone down early. And here comes the window. But Weskaru has found Yanni.
Round 2 each. Imperial does have spawn advantage here. If they can get someone to touch point and trigger this overtime, they should be able to come back and count this as a victory. Weskaru have to be careful. Picks off Ibby. Pan trying to secure this point with Trans. Better not to risk it. This is
And
very
Weskaru
dangerous
has-
territory
yeah.
for Imperial. Eugene
Weskaru-
caught in the
Weskaru
back
has
here.
found- That's 3 picks from Weskaru in this fight.
Big Pharah players. Will Eugene be swapping off to try and deal with this Pharah? He's very close to Pulse, so perhaps not. Not yet. Not yet. Imperial looking to push up and hold this archway, not get stuck there again. Weskaru takes one, but dies for it. Barrage leaves
Yes.
everyone so vulnerable. So it's impressive that he even managed to catch one there. Eugene just besting Rich in a fight.
I believe that Weskaru's barrage onto Roman Sparta there is very crucial to them getting a lot more distance on this attack, because that means that UCL will not be able to use the Grab Dragon combo too early.
A very big pick then, a worthy trade.
Absolutely. And now Weskaru is onto the Doomfist.
That is
400% is out from Akari.
big grabs out from both teams, but UCL does have the dragon to follow up.
Especially with the pulse bomb in
Rodriguez
the
there,
land.
punching the Tracer. The DPS from Imperial desperately getting picks, but it's just too much. The frontline pressure overwhelms them. Imperial got that a good strong way through the second phase of Streets there.
4 to 3. Switching sides.
They might
It
well
is.
be able to hold this.
It's in the middle of Streets, so what we could be looking at from in the attack from UCL would be, after first point, we would be looking to at most 2 fights in the Streets phase. So
Don't get any of that nice extra time for capping points now that we're on to the second rounds.
yes, it is extra rounds on a hybrid map, and let's hope that if you are supporting Imperial, you would hope that they have a very strong first point defense, because after the first point defense, it would be very difficult to hold on in the Streets phase, considering the very long respawn distance.
That is difficult territory. That first arch can be held for quite a while. That's a lovely choke point to try and hold, but respawn advantage definitely in favor of the attackers if it gets to that case.
Absolutely. And we can see that Rich on the Tracer again, and
He's found a
Weskaru
bit of-
on the Hanzo.
Yeah, Weskaru going back to the high frontline pressure. Eugene might be trying out his own bit of Genji now. Now this should be interesting.
Yes, and he's on the flank, looking for a pick, perhaps. As Rich gets slept and headshot early.
That is unlucky there. or a very nice shot from Akarin.
And
Eugene is in the back line, bullying Wesker and Han, but he does go down. Lude, meanwhile, has fallen. Imperial willing to give up the point here, it seems, as long as they can hold on to this choke.
I do believe disengaging and trying to hold at the arch is the correct play here.
Definitely the right choice.
As they are backing up. Oh, but Wesker finds two back-to-back shots.
Impressive. Classic bit of Hanzo. Oh, that was an interesting dragon from Wesker. Maybe to assert dominance? We'll never know. Silver Phoenix was coming up on Grav there, so that might have been a wasted team fight victory. It didn't even get anything. But
Perhaps, but Imperial does have a window here from Lude. And the grab
UCL in turn
is
coming
an
up on their
equally-
own Grav Dragon combo. Silver Phoenix getting the big picks. Wesker in turn following up.
Oh, that is 3 ults invested from UCL, and I believe that would win the
Might
fight
still be
here.
able to turn this around. Grav Dragon just so powerful. Rich trying his best. Throws Pulse in. Very low. Taken down by Yanni. Imperial backing up. They know they can get one last fight in here. As long as they do a full regroup.
UCL coming up on the Nano Blade, as well as the window here.
Classic
Yes.
combo.
That is a very classic combo.
I think that is even more famous than Grav Dragon.
I would agree. But now Imperial would have to touch the point, and they've already lost 2.
Not looking good for Imperial, and the point just... The cart just ticks onto the point. Nanoblade not even needed.
Double kill.
UCL currently 2-0 up in this series against Imperial.
That Grav Dragon there from UCL just clearing up the end of that messy fight. So crucial.
And this is the quick double shot from Wesker that we can see here. That's 1.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Two.
how intentional are you calling that? Or is that just classic Hanzo shoot in the general direction of enemies?
I would say it is about 6 out of 10 intentional.
On
Perhaps.
Han did well, a lot better than he did on Ilios. He had trans for all of the big moments, but just found himself caught out at times, it felt, or perhaps big plays from Genius to separate him off in those grabs, stop that effective healing coming out.
Yes. And I believe that Imperial had not played the Lucio at any point, which I do believe is a questionable choice for me. Because the Lucio with the Rein Zarya can allow you to control the tempo as you can disengage and engage as whenever you want.
Nowadays, Ryan is really one of the only compositions that we see Lucio with.
Yes, and as compared to say Dive, where Brig is perhaps more popular, and the escort map of the match seems to be Rialto.
A nice map for those Pharahs. First point, a lot of cover in the sky there. A lot of roofs to play around. Might be seeing some of that.
Perhaps we have seen both Eugene, I believe, and Wesker playing the Farah at some point, and both seem quite adept at this hero. But even though Farah might be a good choice, there's always a better choice. That is Echo, also known as Better Farah.
Echo does have the advantage in the air, dueling Pharahs, but can't quite output as much consistent damage into the front line, so it's a trade-off that you have to go for. Echo, high bursts of intensity and damage, but Farah, a consistent barrage, if you will, of damage.
I believe that Farah's main advantage is the splash damage that can really break apart a grouped up positioning.
Definitely. Now we are coming into what could be the final match point for UCL. They can hold on to this set of decisive victories. Imperial are going to have to really turn it around. Pump down hit the gas, speed stuff up, turn it around. Do you believe that they'll manage that?
I am not sure, but what I am sure about is that they are looking to change things up as Criterion is back in for relics.
Ah. Probably won't be running the Rhine on this map then.
Yes, since Criterion is in, expect some more Ball and Winston gameplay.
Initiating match.
And look, we're going on a very, very nice boat ride here.
How romantic.
Yes, but going around one section of a river is perhaps counterintuitive,
Ready
as you will want to make use of the full river, perhaps.
I think the boats do have hover jets on them. God knows
Oh, yeah,
why.
they
They
do.
already float. But hey, this is the future for you.
Everything. hovers
Everything
in the
has hover
future.
jets. Cars, boats, whatever the hell that thing is sniffing the grass.
Looking at the heroes that both teams have chosen, UCL is opting for a double shield bastion setup, possibly.
Should
As-
be interesting.
Yes, as opposed to the double bubble from Imperial.
Double bubble is definitely a good choice here for Imperial to close that distance quickly and not let the Orisa and the Bastion get that long range poke damage in that they want to. Farah may be able to get behind, get some nice angles. Rich looking to distract.
But UCL, as you can see, they are pocketing the bastion as Eugene melts Criterion.
Just creating a point-and-click adventure for Eugene here.
And this pointing and clicking has shown to be highly effective in breaking the defense.
Imperial backing way up. They know that they can't afford to poke this Bastion. Double shield comp.
Now,
They'll just keep rolling forwards. So much damage coming out from Bastion there.
So much damage. Now, I am not a very good main tank player. I'm only a modestly diamond player. But if there's one thing that I know, is that you don't play Winston into Bastion.
Oh.
Rose dies to Ibby, but a very nice sleep there. Doesn't clean up
Brit
there.
making a swap over to the ball, looking to displace some of their team from behind the double shield, but just gets burned down. There's no cover in that section to play around. Wesker sticking with the Farah, getting close to Barrage here. Possible for him to flank behind and drop it onto the Bastion.
Yes, and but from UCL, we are looking at a window and a dragon's right here. So
Coming up on Bastion ult as well. Of course, the Bastion
Yes.
ult does output less damage than just normal turret form, but Wesker manages to get one with Barrage.
find
Big
the
pick, but it's not a
Orisa, which is an important pick, which is the Orisa. But that's a lot of damage pressure from Eugene, protecting.
Eugene just sitting in such a defensible spot.
And that's a
Whoa!
Boom.
Wesker! Big 2k with that environmental while the Bastion was ulting, I believe. If that's not play of the game, I'll eat my hat. Overwatch does love those environmental kills. Crit running for his life, getting out of there. Ibby
And,
gets that kill onto Silver Phoenix, could be big.
and he's getting
Cart still,
pocketed.
and the cart still just keeps on pushing forwards.
Genius with the shield here protecting Ibby. As a Rich looking for the touch. No, he's looking for the pulse bomb. It finds the immortality field, which is arguably a very important thing. The grab from Silver Phoenix does not find any kills.
I think the team just fell apart just before they could get that combo off. But Crit coming in with the big mines, Rich taking out Ibby. But that
They
Mercy
do
res is
resurrect.
dangerous. Ibby's back in the game. Wesker finally manages to take down Eugene.
But that is quite a big shatter from Genius. Cleaning up the fight
UCL
here.
cleaning up the fight. Silver Phoenix. Oh, Rich
Rich.
Wesker doing absolute work. cleaning up UCL, turning the tides. Really impressive there from the Imperial DPS. And a bit of a stagger onto Roman Sparta's Diva as well.
A damage boosted Rich Hardry Tracer is nothing to scoff at.
Indeed.
As
Eugene making the switch off the Bastion. Now that they've lost point, it would be difficult to retake it with such a stationary hero.
Yes, and I believe that this is, of course, the right choice, as the Bastion cheese only works up to a certain point. But now Wesker has to play a lot more carefully against the two snipers.
Especially against such a... and just as you say it, down he goes. Dangerous playing a Pharah into that much. Oh, and what a shot from Ibby. Takes out Rich as he was probably going for the pulse.
And that would be point
second
B.
point capped. Silver Phoenix on a sliver of health goes down to Roman Sparta. Almost got out.
Roman Sparta on the Diva once more. As Criterion rolls through and finds Eugene. That res somehow does not go off, but Wesker goes for a barrage and dies without finding any picks.
He does get rezzed. I would have thought he'd be swapping here, but he does get rezzed. Ibby somehow kept alive through all of that damage. Crit throws down the mines, blocking off the corridor there, blocking off main. Rich in the back, wreaking absolute havoc.
Yes, and Wesker
back into the mines with you, Bob.
Bob taking a lot of damage through the mines. As Rich is once again in the backline. Ooh, Pulse Bomb gets eaten by the best Diva in Duel.
He's doing his best to live up to that title, but Wesker does catch someone. Back to the Monkey. Now that UCL have lost their, have switched off their Bastion, it might be a more viable strat.
Bomb into the backline doesn't find any picks, but
the big grab and a very large anti. Crit just cleaning up the mess.
That is a delicious
this Tesla
grenade.
That was a lovely anti from Hamwells there.
The grab and the Baltic grenade, perhaps the strongest combo, one of the strongest combos in the game, that can only be countered by the Immortality Field.
Most broken ability in the game. Blizzard fire whoever invented that, please. Wesker back to his barrage, looking for an angle here, somewhere where they can't stop him, but that Diva's just there, ready to eat it all.
They have stopped him successfully.
Lude somehow getting away with this res.
Criterion in the backline with the Primal Rage and just dies.
Rich on the McCree, we haven't seen this yet, but I'm hopeful.
He is a very good hit scan player. Genius falling a bit low.
Wesker high in the sky, riding these rooftops.
He's looking to duel Eugene. Probably not the best thing to do as Pharah.
A lot of splash damage coming out here from Wesker, with UCL trapped in this tight corridor. It's a dangerous place to be with such a good Pharah raining down fire on you. Monkey in the backline going for Eugene. There's a lot of peel there, but Rich and Silver Phoenix able to just turn around and walk onto the distracted front line from UCL.
That's an interesting barrage from Wesker.
I mean, looking into a Diva, a BAP, and an Ashe, there's limited value that Wesker can get with his barrages. So I think just getting one pick with it is all right.
Perhaps, but not getting a pick in a fight that they have already won.
True. True. Out comes another Bob. Fire Strike window catches the Monkey.
Shatter from Genius finds nothing. And here comes the grab High Noon from Imperial.
Genius falling dangerously low and antied. Lude falls to the bomb.
Somehow.
Parade's going left and right. Both teams are down 2.
Wesker finds the BAP again as Akarin.
And the Mercy, just so much value from this Pharah. Really impressive considering all of the hit scan and the Diva that he's playing it into. Roman Sparta may be the best Diva in all of Duel, according to himself, but it's still not enough to deal with Wesker.
He might be the best diva in Newell, but remember, this match is not in Newell.
Alright. Imperial do manage to hold it before a full capture. This is winnable for Imperial. Now comes the reverse sweep. You've heard it first here, chaps.
Yes, and if they do end up failing the reverse sweep, please remember, I did not say that.
I said, you've got to vote for the underdog. It's required. It's the law. Just can't help it.
Is it
Always
though?
happens when I watch league games as well. I join in and I'm watching it, and whoever loses the first map, I'm like, these guys. I want these guys to win.
Well, it is always good to see the underdog come back. But if you look at it realistically, I would say that UCL is clearly in a good place here.
Tough for Imperial to turn this around, but you never know. We have a very cinematic view of Rialto here.
Yes,
Floaty boats bobbing away in the harbour, and we've teleported through into Wesker's POV. Switching on to, as you put it, better Farah here, but running it into Ibby's Torbjorn is difficult, to say the least. Torbjorn just so good at stopping all attempts at dives. That turret checks off angles, it outputs a decent amount of damage.
I do believe the Wrecking Ball here from Criterion is the correct pick, because he can go around and displace the high ground setup from UCL, as he is exactly doing that as UCL drops off from the high ground.
UCL pushing
in the front
aggressive,
line.
hoping to roll over that non-existent front line.
Ooh, Wesker going dangerously low, but he does get out on time. And the lamp has been invested from UCL, as Rich finds Eugene. Eugene does get resurrected by Akarin on the Mercy here, and Yanni invests the window
To secure that fight. Window's a very fast charging ult though. It's probably a good usage there to ensure victory at that point. Crit rolling around, getting a bit low. Got those adaptive shields. Keeping him up. Lude gets the res on Wesker. Could be big.
And here comes a nano on Silver Phoenix again. He has delivered multiple times throughout the match.
Just everything just stopped by that lamp. Jeff, get rid of lamp, please.
Well, we know that that's not happening.
You're falling dangerously low, but you know you can't kill a ball unless you have all the CC in the world.
Wesker on the Rhine does shatter Yanni and cleans him up.
Roman Sparta getting that damage in. Crit coming back from spawn. And it seems like UCL have been able to stabilize here just by the end of first point.
Criterion slams in, but Eugene has found the headshot on the Rich. And of course, Criterion dies again.
Wesker hiding up in that back high ground. Both DPS and Mercy up there. It's a nice place to be, but maybe not when you're surrounded by the enemy team. Wesker looking for damage from that focusing beam of his. Rich just missing some of those crucial shots there on Yanni's back.
That is, well, perhaps he missed the killing blow.
But a big pick on Yanni, but it's back up again. And Silver Phoenix and Rich go down. Window back out again to what appeared to be a one fight. But Han and Lude, the supports from Imperial, doing their very best to turn this around.
Oh, but the window fire strike from Genius finds Zarya as the rest of UCL clean up the fight after investing 4 ults, it seems like.
Imperial are a lot closer to their ultimates here than UCL are, but they're running out of time.
1 minute, less than 1 minute remaining, as Silver Phoenix attempts to bully Eugene off of the high ground.
Such an
falling quite low
important thing
himself.
to do as well. You can't leave such a dangerous hit scan up there to rain fire into your team. Both
Indeed,
DPS ults and Nano up for Imperial. Just Bob for UCL, but Roman Sparta coming close to his grab.
Weskaroo looking for an off angle here, perhaps.
Cleaning up that turret, get rid of some of that damage. Very important. Oh, an interesting pick for the copy. Instantly asserts dominance over Eugene. One wonders why he wasn't just playing Ashe to start with. And the Mercy down as well. In comes Bob.
I do believe copying the Ashe is not the worst choice here.
It's worked out for him. He was in a good position on high ground. He got 2 picks. It was very nice.
Yeah,
Maybe less reliable than copying one of the tanks, but Weskaroo made it work for him.
And the key thing is you can build Bob incredibly quickly, and that's the 7th man on your team.
Weskaroo is found just here at the end, but it doesn't matter with the res coming through.
Criterion taking the high ground here. As the fight is currently in a bit of a poke phase here, with neither team choosing to engage.
Out comes Valk from Lude. But Weskaroo does go down. Will the res be able to come out? Big grab. Out comes the High Noon. Lots of ults trading back and forth. But UCL do come out on top, and they keep on to 4 ultimates. Ibby coming up on his now, making the 4th.
I believe Weskaroo was just coming out of spawn, and he was met with a Storm Arrow headshot that was damage boosted.
Weskaroo not being allowed to play the game. He's swapped over once again to the Genji. This seems to be a bit of a, I don't want to say desperation pick, but verging on it.
And
Here comes the Nano and the bomb. Both of Imperial's ults committed. Immortality Field stopping that. Out comes Dragons from Eugene. And a High Noon as well to boot. UCL looking like they're coming out on top. Crit doing his best, but does fall to the high charge Zarya. Silver Phoenix running off the edge. Ibby cleaning up through that window. So much damage.
And this looks like another one fight from UCL. But they have invested quite a few ultimates in that fight.
And now Criterion coming up on his big monkey.
Big Monkey Primal Rage.
And he's going around the back as well. Got to take that high ground, so important. Oh, but Weskaroo does go down to a headshot by Ibby. That is nice. And Lude as well. No res for Imperial today. They're running out of time. They can regroup here for one last push, but it's going to be tight.
Yes, indeed. It will be a very difficult to even get onto the point in the first place. As I say that, someone is on the point currently.
But Imperial just falling, trickling. Not sure they're going to be able to get another good fight in here. Crit absolutely sneaking his way along. Do they know? They do. It was worth the shot.
Very much worth a shot.
He has managed to trigger overtime. And he is alone in the back there with a couple of diverting attention from the front line. Crit doing his very best. Ulting, he can't leave point. Out comes the ult from Weskaroo, but he's instantly down. Out comes the res. Ibby in the back line, raining fire. Big charge from Genius and the Dragons to seal the deal. This is looking like it's the end for Imperial.
And
They tried so hard. They got so far. But in the end, didn't even matter.
And as UCL finishes off the series with a clean 3-0, I believe the Varsity scores are now 11-7 in favor of UCL, which means that they have won the Varsity tournament.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't show up for tomorrow's Valorant match. It's sure to promise some high-stakes gameplay. Weskaroo really doing a lot of work for his team there. A lot of good damage, big barrages, even playing it into the D.Va and the hit scan. He really did try. Oh well, that was a good showing from both teams. UCL just having that little bit more.
Yes, and I believe one of the key differences is that I think UCL just had the better compositions in some of the maps, especially nearing the end.
Often feel like they did just have the slightly better compositions.
Yes, they always have a very slight advantage, as well as Ibby and Eugene finding very, very good picks on those DPS selections.
So who is your man of the match, your MVP?
My man of the match. My player of the match. I'm not sure actually. It will. I suppose it has to be one of the DPS on UCL's team.
Both were doing valiantly. We do have the opportunity to interview someone here.
I suppose let's.
There was notes, right, on who was a good idea to interview?
I think we should let's invite Roman Sparta for an interview after this win, as he is, I believe, the captain of the team. And here he is.
Hello, Roman Sparta.
Hi, guys.
Best diva in Newell. How do you feel after that decisive victory?
We've had a very successful term. We had a really good performance in Newell this term, getting into Division 1. So this feels like the culmination of months of hard work. And I'm really proud of everyone on the team for putting the effort in.
And that hard work really did show. Very impressive from everyone.
Thank you.
So, what do you think of the compositions that Imperial were running?
Imperial, I mean, they're clearly a really experienced team, and the comps they run, there's a lot of thought behind them, and it always shows when we're playing against them. It's always something that we kind of need to just figure out what the strength is and try to work around that, because they honestly play comps that are kind of hard to find weaknesses in. It's more us trying not to enable them rather than trying to actively counter them. For the most part, their dive is really, really impressive. Their ball player was a constant pain. And despite that, I think we still managed to come on top. But they did a very good job of keeping that pressure 24/7 on us.
Mm. Well, very impressive from UCL. Really well done to your
Thank you.
entire team.
And I have one more question that I want
Sure
to
thing.
ask.
Shoot.
Who do you think, other than you, is the best player on your team?
Oh god. That's
Oh,
tough. I gotta, in my opinion, I may get some hate for this. I gotta give it to Yanni. I've been playing with the guy for 3 years now, and he has never once let me down. If you asked him, he'd say he underperformed today, but I don't think the guy's ever had a bad day.
he came up
He
on some very fast
consistently
windows.
provides he's the backbone of the team.
Yeah, it was some very impressive play from UCL support line. It was.
Yes, I would
we were
agree.
mentioning that your support line struggled a little less than Imperials, whether that was due to DPS focusing or support ability or some combination of the both. We don't know, but really impressive. Yeah.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
hope everyone enjoyed watching, and I'm looking forward to tuning in to watch Valorant tomorrow to see how this ends.
Well, I think victory is assured for UCL.
I believe so. I don't want to rub it in, so
Expected.
I won't.
Well, a little bit of rubbing it is probably
Well,
earned after a 3-0 victory.
Imperial have had a tough term compared to last time, but they've still come out looking really, really good. So they should be happy with themselves.
Ever the sportsman. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Roman Sparta, for coming in and interviewing briefly with us. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye. And that was it.
That's all we have for you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We hope you enjoyed. GG.
And
Well played.
remember to watch the Valorant Team
Watch the
1 match
Valorant game.
tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Don't forget.
So make sure to tune in.